Good afternoon, Chaosists. Kalatos, your friendly Legions leader here to do another review of one of our brethren in Legions of Chaos. Somebody who came to this guild with me and a small group of our former compatriots. This is Repsaj. Now, Repsaj is here, and he asked for maybe some tank teams to help him increase his damage in tank so he can start getting some better rewards from there to increase his groups in territory battles. So I didn't so much look through your light side roster to work on territory battle teams, but I did try and focus on some teams that will work both in the tank raid and in territory battles, as well as perhaps a couple tips on how to improve your arena squad, because I know everybody wants to get higher ranks in arenas to get those crystals, to farm gear, and all the fun stuff that they can bring. So let's look first at your arena squad and see what you got. We see that you have a Darth Vader Zeta lead, I believe, with Boba Fett, Savage Opress, Kylo Ren, and Emperor Palpatine. So not a bad squad. They got some very strong characters in there who individually can do wonderful. But I do see a couple things that maybe I would change to boost your synergy. Even though those guys do have a great... individually they're all great, but you could find a slightly more synergistic group. So let's look and see what you got. Okay, at first glance I see that your first 18 characters are all gear 11. So I know that we've got a lot of good stuff to work with. You know, see, wow, 22 gear 11 characters and quite a few gear 10. So Repsaj has definitely been on the gear farm, working well, trying to grind that stuff out. I don't necessarily see anybody super close to gear 12, though a couple of your clones are there. Boba Fett's there. So definitely some good stuff to look at. But I said, first of all, I would make some adjustments to your arena squad. So the first thing, Savage is a phenomenal character. I personally use him in my arena squad, but I think under a Darth Vader lead, you're better without a Savage Opress to go with a Darth Sidious. If you put a Zeta on Darth Sidious and speed him up as much as you can, he has really good synergy with Darth Vader. So that's the first change I would make. And second, instead of Emperor Palpatine, either use Captain Phasma or General Kenobi. Captain Phasma, just to increase the speed of your team, because Darth Vader lead has a tendency to be kind of slow, and Captain Phasma can speed them up. So that is one option. A second option, instead of Phasma, like I said, is General Kenobi. The taunting is awesome. It'll help save your Darth Sidious and your Boba Fett. But if you don't want to use General Kenobi, then perhaps even a Rex lead can help cleanse your team and provide them the speed that they need to stay competitive. So keep Darth Vader, keep Boba Fett. You can probably keep Kylo Ren. I mean, he does throw out some damage over time that is useful, but I would personally drop Emperor Palpatine and Savage Opress and definitely bring in Darth Sidious, and then either Captain Phasma, Rex, or General Kenobi. General Kenobi he's just too good. You know, his cleansing, his taunting, adding retribution, his team attack. It's too good not to have in any arena team. So that's what I would do there. Now, to make those characters stronger, Darth Vader could use a few mod changes. I noticed that the arrow, you have crit avoidance, which doesn't really do anything. So I would try and find a speed arrow there. The cross that he's got, yes, potency. Potency cross is nice, but let's make sure that the primary stat is potency as well. And on the triangle, we want to get crit damage, because we want that culling blade to hit as hard as possible. So we definitely want to get some crit damage if you use Captain Phasma. If you switch to General Kenobi or a Rex, then you might want to get crit chance instead of crit damage for your primary stat here. So a couple changes to make to Darth Vader. Boba Fett looked pretty good, except we want to make sure that the primary stat on this cross is potency, because we do want his dots to stick. Darth Sidious would kind of need an entire overhaul in mods, because Darth Sidious is naturally one of the fastest characters in the game, and you want to get a speed set on him to really increase that speed as much as possible. And as you increase that speed, make sure that his cross you have potency, and the arrow you'll definitely want to get speed as well. And it might be better off to get health instead of protection here, because he can do so much health regeneration. His triangle, crit damage, crit chance, offense, they're all good, but we want to make sure that we speed him up as much as possible. And if you chose Phasma, again, you want her to be super fast as well. Rex, a lot of speed and some tenacity. General Kenobi, if you switch to him, you got a defense, tenacity, maybe a little bit of speed as well. So that's the change that I would make to your arena team. The good news is that, especially if you used Phasma, that Darth Vader, Boba Fett, Kylo Ren, Captain Phasma, and Darth Sidious make a fantastic Phase 2 team. They are capable of upwards of 4 to 5 million damage in Phase 2 with good mods, so that will do double duty for you. Another great Phase 2 team, some Phase 4 teams, or another Phase 2 team if you would like. Your Rebels are looking good, and you can put a very solid team together with them under a Wedge Antilles lead with Biggs Darklighter, Farm Boy Luke, R2-D2, and either Admiral Akbar. Maybe you want to gear up Raid Han. K2SO also couldn't be a terrible idea here. But you want to really get another damage person here. So Raid Han would be my suggestion. So Wedge Antilles, Biggs Darklighter, Farm Boy Luke, Raid Han, and R2-D2. Any of those, or that group, would be really solid in Phase 2 or Phase 4. Wouldn't do much in Phase 3. They'd get destroyed super fast, so don't even worry about putting them in there. Your Jedi have a solid team going that could be used in just about any phase. This would be under a Zeta Qui-Gon Jinn lead, Jedi Knight Anakin, Ahsoka Tano, a Yoda, and Amagundi. Those 5 could be a great setup for you in any phase. If you want to use them in Phase 3, once your General Kenobi gets maxed out, maybe I would switch him in there for Ahsoka Tano or Grandmaster Yoda, and leave Qui-Gon, Anakin, Amagundi, General Kenobi, and Grandmaster Yoda. That would be a great setup as well. I've not seen anybody with a maxed ETH Koth. His unique says he might be good in the raid against droids, but we don't know. So if you find him and you use him and he's good, let us know so that we can throw him in some more groups. But I've his raw numbers don't necessarily justify him a spot in a raid team. But if it actually works out even better, again, please let us know. And your clones are looking pretty good. A little more work, your clones could be doing 6, 7, 8 million damage. Just if you're going to do those, I'd focus on Clone Sergeant first, get his gear up, and remember you wouldn't use Rex in a clone raid team. Instead, you would use Princess Leia. So those are 4 good teams that you could use in the raid. I would have also recommended a Chirpatine, but your Chief Chirpa is pretty much just activated. So maybe if you wanted to use a Stormtrooper Han, well, you don't even have Sun Fac, so nope, can't even do Chirpatine. Unless you had another really strong tank to go along with Royal Guard and Stormtrooper Han. Well, Stormtrooper Han, Royal Guard, K2SO, Emperor Palpatine. Those 4 make a good base for a group. Generally, you have Chief Chirpa or TIE Fighter Pilot along with them, but you don't have either one of them geared. So you could throw in, I don't know, maybe a Grand Moff Tarkin, see what happens. But there's a number of different variations in that you could do. You can just kind of mix and match and see what you like. As far as what to farm next, well, this might start to get repetitive to hear from everybody, but you want to work on Ezra Bridger. Okay, Ezra Bridger is going to be the most important guy for you coming up soon. He can help you with Thrawn. He is fantastic in territory battles. He can work in a lot of raid teams with Jedi or Rebels. You're going to want to farm him. You know, as soon as you finish up your Captain Han Solo, get Ezra Bridger. He is that good. TIE Pilot is also going to be one that you want to get. He is very versatile and dark side. He can do all kinds of different things. So TIE Fighter Pilot really could be very useful after you top off your Ezra Bridger. And then going back to the Jedi, Old Ben, I think, could be a really good addition for you, because your teams do lack solid tanks, and in the territory battles you're really going to want some really strong taunters, and Old Ben is a solid choice. Not to mention he's used in the hero's journey, so that when Commander Luke Skywalker comes along with Old Ben maxed, you're good to go. Aside from those 3, really just the rest of Phoenix Squad. Phoenix Squad, you want to farm up to max and get them to gear 7 or 8. So those are my suggestions for you, Repsaj. Your arena team, switch to a Darth Vader, Boba Fett, Kylo Ren, Darth Sidious, and Captain Phasma, Rex, or General Kenobi. And then those 3 other teams for not territory battles, the tank raid, a Wedge Antilles lead with Biggs, Farm Boy Luke, Raid Han, and R2-D2, a Jedi group with Qui-Gon Jinn, Jedi Knight Anakin, Ahsoka Tano, Yoda, and Ima D, as well as your clones plus Leia. And then your upcoming farming, if you are farming shards and wanting to focus on somebody that's not on one of those teams, Ezra Bridger, TIE Fighter Pilot, Old Ben, and then the rest of Phoenix Squad. Hopefully this can give you some really good direction and kind of help get you ready to really start killing the tank raid so you can get some more personal rewards and really further your progression as a player in this awesome guild. Thank you for listening, and again, hopefully these suggestions can help you out. Until next time, later, Legions of Chaos and everybody else in the Chaos family, good luck.